have two. We have two members from the previous cohort joining us tonight to talk about their experience. But while we wait to see if some others join us in the chat, just your role as an educator and where you are zooming in from. Hey, welcome, Elizabeth. Florida, okay, definitely warmer down there than up here in Buffalo. Hey, Karen. South Carolina. All right, Karen. Hey, Oars. I know you up there in Massachusetts. You got to do this, Micro, and bring it to your school, Oars. That way we can hang out more on Zoom together. All right. Hey, Emily. Thanks for joining us from New Jersey. Ooh, and criminal justice. Awesome. Hey, Jackie
Hi,
from
hi.
hey, Jackie Wiggins. All right, got
Yeah,
two Jack. That's Jackie from
hi.
Philly and Black Print 20 committee member. And then there's another Jackie.
Okay, good
Um,
name.
there's another Jackie from Massachusetts as well.
Okay, cool.
All right, and welcome, Natalie. Give it about one more minute. If you had other folks that wanted to join, please let them know that this session is also being recorded. All right, if you're just joining us, please feel free to put where you are zooming from and your role as an educator in the chat. Okay, it is 7:04, so let's go ahead and get started. My name is Abigail. I am a Schomburg Fellow at the Teaching Black History Center. Along with me is Professor King, who is Director of the Teaching Black History Center. We are excited this evening to tell you about the Teaching Black History Micro-Credential program. We are currently in this middle, towards the end of the second cohort, and we are looking for many people as possible to apply for the third cohort. I will introduce ourselves in a little bit more detail, talk about what the center does. I will also then go through what is the micro-credential, why do a micro-credential. You will then hear some reflections from micro-educators from the first cohort, and we will leave some time at the end to answer all of your questions. So just again to introduce myself, I am a second-year doctoral student. I'm currently the program instructor for the Teaching Black History Microcredential. Prior to moving to Buffalo, I taught African American history in West Philadelphia for 13 years, because in Philly, it is a required course to take for all public school students. And now I have moved out of the classroom. I've adjusted to living in Buffalo, and I've been working to get my PhD. Professor King, is there anything you want to say? You want to just briefly introduce yourself?
All right, good evening, everyone. LeGarrette King, professor of education and the director for the Center for K-12 Black History and Racial Literacy Education. Very happy that you all have joined us here virtually. Whether you're live or whether or not you're watching the video, the recorded video. I'm very happy about the first two cohorts of the micro-credential, and I'm looking forward for the third cohort. So thank you all for being here, and I'll let Abigail handle her business.
All right. Thank you, Professor King. Before we get to the micro, I do want to share some other just like free events related to the center, and then also talk to you really quickly about our conference. We are currently in the middle of our book club. We do book clubs as part of the Teaching Black History Center. This month's book club is I'll Make Me a World by Jarvis Gibbons. That's happening this Saturday and the following Saturday. Professor Christina King will be leading a book club on One Crazy Summer. That is a young adult graphic novel that she really loves. I have not read it yet, but it's sitting on my desk to start as soon as I get the time. That will be starting April 18th. I will also drop a link for you in the chat for that. There's a whole bunch of links we're going to give you, but I also will have for you at the end. I can drop them all at the same time as well. So this is not up yet on our website. I will tell you why in just a second. Before I get to the conference, we are hosting a social studies coordinators retreat this summer. This will be a 2-day retreat taking place on July 22nd and July 23rd. It is a chance to engage in curriculum, be in conversation with like-minded professionals. It is a safe space to talk about how do you incorporate Black history, how do you create a unit, how do you infuse it all year round. Myself and Big Studies curriculum expert Ishmael Jimenez will be leading that social studies retreat, which takes place 2 days before the actual conference. The big news this year is I found out last week and confirmed that the National Museum of African American History and Culture, the Black Smithsonian as they call it, will be leading a workshop on the second day on the Freedmen's Bureau, Reconstruction, and primary sources. I am super pumped that they are coming to Buffalo to be a part of the retreat. If you are interested in that, please email me. I will put my email address in the chat. And I will keep you on an interested list so that I can make sure that I email you when it is posted on the website. Are you all hearing me okay? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just checking. I'm
Real
not
quick,
sure.
for the coordinators retreat, you do not have to be a social studies coordinator to join. You can be a teacher leader, coach, or just someone interested in how to be a better leader within curriculum development.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Professor King. We had a whole range last year. We had somebody who was just brand new to teaching. We had a principal. We had a social studies coordinator. It was a very big mix. Okay. Now, our big John, I like that word John, is our Teaching Black History Conference taking place on July 24th and July 25th. This conference is actually what introduced me to the center and helped me really be encouraged to make the transition here to Buffalo. It is over 60 presentations in 2 days. What's beautiful about this space too is you just get to network with hundreds of people interested in Black history education. The sessions are dope, and we really encourage you to come to that. Let me drop the link for that one too. Okay, so the theme of the conference this year too is Black founding mothers and fathers. All right, now, for why you are here specifically tonight is to know more about the Teaching Black History Micro-Credential. Who is part of the Micro-Credential team? This year it's Dr. King and myself, Dr. Jania Hoover. She is a cohort 1 graduate. She is helping out as an assistant. And then we have a wonderful Mrs. Hannah Montgomery, who serves as our programs manager. What I love about this Micro-Credential, I miss being with students in the classroom every day, but there's just something really special about being with a small group of educators online every week to get to talk Black history and learn about their classrooms. I love supporting teachers in helping develop their Black history content knowledge, plus their pedagogies. I show them a lot of different strategies that I use in the classroom over 13 years. I have supported a full range, elementary school teachers, middle school teachers, high school teachers, English teachers. This year, there's somebody from Facing History that's part of it. This year, there's just a Black mom who wants to support their child with positive racial identity, and she's turning around the lessons and she's bringing them to her church's Sunday school. So it just goes to show that there's a wide range of professionals that can learn the content knowledge and pedagogies for teaching Black history. It also pushes teachers to find ways to create Black history community activities within their schools, specifically if you're serving in an elementary, middle school, or high school through an assignment like the Black History Month proposal. You are giving advanced time to come up with an activity or an event or that you would like to bring to your school and get feedback on it. It is also just a wonderful, positive virtual experience of networking. It's a place of fugitivity, love, and what I have been learning through Professor King of critical hope as well. So, what is a micro-credential? It is not a PD. It's not one of those one-off professional development sessions that you go to on an afternoon. It is a small, like minor certificate program. It allows you to meet your personalized learning needs by gaining the knowledge and skills that you want. It is meant to be innovative. They are convenient and a short-term option for both traditional and non-traditional students and just professionals to gain their skills that they want to bring back to their professional environments. Um, Outside of including the Teaching Black History Micro-Credential, there are more than 3,300 students that are taking micro-credential courses at UB. At the end of the micro-credential program, you are awarded a badge that you can post on LinkedIn, for example. We also keep a record of the work that is produced throughout the micro-credential program for our own record in case you also wanted to share it with your employer. Okay, so why the Teaching Black History Micro-Credential? Um, we all know this. We've seen problematic Black history curriculum in classrooms done by teachers. 65% of teachers say that the state does not require students to learn Black history, but Black history we know is very influential in curriculum. There have been attacks on Black history instruction all over the United States. Over 20 states have banned or restricted Black history teaching. So I think it is more important than ever to have what Professor King and I call Black history interventions, like this Teaching Black History Micro-Credential, to give educators the opportunity to develop their skills in teaching Black history. Just in general, I think we know that a lot of people are ignorant about Black people and its history. And this Teaching Black History Micro-Credential has been developed to address some of those systemic problems. Okay, so I just want to read this quote because it always resonates with me when I think about the micro-credential. I have never been in despair about the world. I've been enraged by it. I can't afford despair. I can't tell my nephew, my niece, you can't tell the children there's no hope. And so what I mean when I was mentioning critical hope is that these interventions at times, specifically right now, when it's very curriculum in schools are politically divisive, this Teaching Black History Micro-Credential offers a safe place for educators to come together and get meaningful feedback on how to teach Black history well and effectively. Okay, so what does it take to be a Teaching Black History Micro-Credential educator? I do have a flyer for this as well. I will drop that at the end. So you can save it, print it out, and perhaps give it to your boss or other people who might be interested. We have Black History Nerd sessions that take place on Saturday mornings. Part of this micro-credential program, you have to attend 6 out of the 10 Black History Nerd sessions. In addition, like those book clubs that I mentioned, we have 4 book clubs throughout the year, 2 spring semester, 2 fall semester, and 2 spring semester. All micro-credential educators have to attend 2 out of those 4. And then you also have to attend a Researching Race series. That is outside of doing the coursework. There are 2 courses for the micro-credential, 1 fall semester and 1 spring semester. Teaching Black History 1 is 8 classes in which Black history was taught chronologically. One of the biggest questions I always get is like, Abigail, do you think thematic design works better than chronological design for Black history? And I'm like, I think it really depends on how much content knowledge that you have. For me, I feel like you have to have a basic understanding of Black history so that you can make thematic comparisons. And so, because of that belief, Teaching Black History 1 is taught chronologically. Some of the assignments successfully completed for this Teaching Black History 1 are a journal reflection, the Black History Month proposal, and the Jawn of Engagement. I wrote an article on that I will also put in the chat, because in that article you will learn more about some of the strategies provided in the micro-credential and what teachers are doing. Teaching Black History 2 is 9 classes in which each class is focused on one of Dr. King's Black historical consciousness principles. This has been really fun for me to develop lessons and talk about how to teach through Black history using his principles. Some of the assignments successfully completed for this course include a 15-minute model lesson. We're currently in the middle of that right now. Each microeducator comes on the Saturday afternoon and they model 15 to 20 minutes of a lesson that they have developed and then are able to get feedback on it. They develop a unit plan, PD or similar. I say it doesn't have to be a unit plan, because obviously for those that come from perhaps educator organizations like this director at Facing History, they want to develop professional development that they can bring to schools. So that is also an option as well, for one of your assignments. And then the big one is the Black History capstone poster, which were beautifully put on display at last year's conference. Okay, so here are some examples of the microeducator work. Jamie's here. I saw you somewhere because I saw that wonderful smile. She created a lesson on resistance. Feel free to ask her about that when she tells you about her experience. Josh, she created a Black identity unit through music. Charlene, who is also here, I believe. There you are, Charlene. He developed a unit on the Haitian Revolution that was really wonderful. Sean created something on agency and resistance. And then I won't talk about every single one here, but here are just a few other examples of some of the curriculum that was created through the micro-credential. Okay, classes could start at 3 different times depending on how many people are accepted. But in general, at least for the first 2 cohorts, Teaching Black History 1 takes place during the fall semester, mid-September to the end of November, and Teaching Black History 2 takes place during the spring semester, mid-January to the end of March. Then there are a few follow-up meetings where we come together to check in before the conference. The book clubs, nerds, and researching race take place throughout the year. Okay, the registration fee is $1,500 per person. I think this is actual real steal, y'all. It's a steal for what you get out of it and all the networking and just like the camaraderie and the solidarity you build. If you happen to be part of a cohort of 10 or more, that price will be reduced to $1,200 per person. You cannot start the micro-credential until the fee is paid in full. The last thing I just want to say too about the classes, they are synchronous on Zoom. They take place on Saturday afternoons between 3 and 5. The reason behind this is because we have teachers or educators who come from all over the country. And because of our programming on Saturday mornings, really the best time is to have it on Saturday afternoons. It's too difficult to do it in the evenings during the week. And we couldn't do it early Saturday morning in case there are educators from the West Coast that want to be a part of the program too. I will get to questions at the end, but for now, let me introduce 2 people, wonderful educators from cohort 1. We have Jamie and Charlene. Can you introduce yourself first and just say where you teach and what you teach?
Okay,
Charlie?
Jamie, go first.
Oh,
You want
okay.
me to
Go
go
ahead,
first?
Jamie. Go ahead, Jamie.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Jamie Perry. I teach.
Jamie, can you speak up just a little bit?
I sure can. Let me know. Is it clearer now or not? Um, Here, Charlene, go first. Okay, I'll go first. You might need to go inside. Okay, hi guys. I'm Charlene. I am a teacher in Detroit. I teach for Detroit Public Schools at the Renaissance High School. And I've been teaching for, I had to do the math, 33 years, primarily African American history. I'm in social studies. I also have ninth grade US history. And for the last, this I guess would be my third year, I am currently teaching AP African American history with College Board. I think you just said do introductions. You want me to just
Yeah, just
roll
the
it on in?
introductions for now. Thank you,
Okay,
Charlie.
okay, doke.
Okay.
Oh,
Can
much better. Thanks,
can
Jamie.
you
Yeah.
can you hear me? I'm on spring break, so I'm at an Airbnb in Arizona, and so I'm working out technology.
Oh,
I'm so happy to be here, everybody. My name is Jamie Perry. I teach in the Chicago Public Schools. I teach seventh and eighth grade civics and social studies. I've been there, quite a long time. So if there's any folks from Chicago or the Chicagoland area, let me know. But yeah, I was thrilled to be a part of the first cohort.
thanks, Jamie. So if each of you could just speak to why you decided to do the micro-credential in the first place, and maybe we'll just go in opposite order each time. So Jamie, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think for me, I really wanted to learn like best practices in teaching Black history. I wanted to build my own background knowledge. I knew there were so many gaps in how I had learned, and through my education. And I was just really interested. Once I read the course offering of like teaching Black History 1, and I was looking at like, oh, these are the topics we're going to cover. I was super excited to kind of dive into those content topics. I also have always known that I love to learn like in community with other people. And so, sort of like the design of the program, the fact that I would be meeting with the same folks over weeks, really interested me. I really was hoping to kind of build a community, of folks where I like made those friendships and those connections. That's exactly what happened. It's wonderful. So that's really what drew me to the program.
All right. Thanks,
For
Jamie. Charlene?
me, I did it for fun. I'm a Black history nerd for sure. So being an educator, when I was in high school, growing up in the 80s, I always thought that Black history had to be a separate class. How come we didn't teach Black history but when I went to my HBCU, I realized that there is no history, American history without the other. So I kind of have evolved in that. But it was when I decided to jump into this, I thought it would be fun. I'm always looking for things to improve my teaching strategies and approaches. And being 33 years in, I hate to say that because it makes it sound like I'm really old because I'm really just 20 years old. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, but I was realizing that well, there's two things. We were coming out of COVID and I was looking for something to do. So I just happened to stumble on a Black History Conference, teaching Black History Conference. I think I want to do that. And so I think it's been maybe 3 years back, or maybe I might be off maybe 1 year, 4 years back, but I wanted to come to the conference when I thought it was very affordable, $100, I think at the time to register. And I thought it would be nice to be around others. What was this conference all about? So I was curious. And then when I had the opportunity to become a part of the Micro-Credential, I thought, okay, this would be good to engage with others who are also Black history nerds, so to speak. I've gained so much more from that, and I am still actively, like involved in just like joining this call. I think it's still fun. I'm probably rambling about that, but I'm always looking to improve teaching. And what I thought was 30 years of history, there's even more to add on to I guess, what I want to teach my students. After a while, you get tired of not tired of teaching the same thing, but this was an opportunity to kind of branch out and continue to learn and grow as an educator. And that's what I've done. So it's still fun.
And thanks, Charlene. How, like, after completing it, has it changed how you approach some of your work in the classroom?
Well, we had such an amazing instructor. She
Thanks so
definitely
much.
had exposed, and her name was Abigail Henry, by the way. But just being able to see other teachers model how they were instructed, and it's not really so there's one aspect is the connection to the history and the Black history and the culture. The other aspect is just being a great educator, being around, learning from your modeling and your patience. You think you kind of got it for your classroom, but then you see someone else do it and they do it better, or doing it in a different way. And so just opening your eyes to different perspectives. So I just appreciate I think what Erin just said, the being able to collaborate and share ideas. That's just been very valuable to me.
Thanks. And Jamie, how about you?
I feel like I developed a lot of confidence being creative and like in designing units. And I want to echo what Charlene said. It in that, like, watching Abigail teach and my fellow teachers in the cohort, everyone models these lessons, and it's just like, first of all, it's such a supportive environment. Like, everyone is rooting for each other, everyone is so excited for everyone else. It's just a really beautiful thing. But within my own teaching, I feel like infusing a lot of primary sources in a way that is engaging for kids, and through trial and error in my own like units I designed, and then in the classroom, kind of like looking at how my students are engaging with the sources I've chosen, and kind of developing a little bit more of just that confidence and in when I'm designing lessons and units, and like being willing to try something and then see how it goes. I just feel like I've been a teacher for about 20 years, and I feel like this program really was kind of this wonderful shot in the arm I needed, in terms of like passion and creativity, because I was feeling the burnout, and I was feeling it for real. And so being creative and also even mentoring within my building. I work with a few teachers in my team, and I'm always excited to talk to them about like how I'm infusing Black history throughout the year. And we have a huge like building wide Black History Month kind of project. And so I've like modeled and talked to a lot of teachers about what I've done and how I've done things. So it's just the connections I've made within my building and kind of mentoring others has been great too. I feel much more confident, and even just also really like I want to share the support I got by being in this program. I like want to share it with others and say like, hey, you know what, let's try something like this. Have you thought of this? And so that's really helped me develop my confidence.
And thank you, Jamie. Before we get to questions for the people that joined, what are some aspects of the micro-credential people should know that are here considering applying that I may have left out?
The conference is awesome. It is fantastic. And you already touched on it and said how dope and cool and great it was, but it was just such a wonderful way to just finish up this year of learning, almost a year of learning with everyone, seeing everybody in person after meeting every Saturday. Yeah, like meeting every Saturday, it's just like, oh my gosh, the first Saturday that we didn't have class, after we concluded the program, it's like there's this, where are my people? I need my people, so you really bond with the folks that are in the cohort with you. And if you have the chance to get to Buffalo to present at the conference, it is such a culmination of a beautiful learning experience. So I can't stress that enough, how much it really just brought me so much joy in my heart to go through the process with all of these wonderful people.
Yeah. Thanks, Jamie. Bringing up the conference again, too. there is something really nice, like she said, about like getting to know somebody and their work and then what they're trying to do in the classroom or at their organization, and then actually getting to meet them in person. And the one thing we do every year for each cohort is like there's a special breakfast so that we all can break bread and come together. Charlene, is there anything you think people should know that I haven't mentioned about the micro-credential who are here that are interested in the program?
So the Teaching Black History conferences that I've attended, what I appreciate about them is that they're intimate, they're small, they're not these huge conferences with 600 or 700 people, but just manageable. So when you get to come in and you're in the intimate space, that's great and that's good. So what I liked about the micro-credential, it's a 1 year program, it's short. You said $1,500. Like you're getting a lot for, I think you get a lot out of that money. I paid out of my own pocket. I did it for fun. I didn't get a school didn't sponsor me. I don't know where I came up with the money. I was gonna do it like you go to Starbucks or something. That's because I'm just that way. But I don't regret putting that money out at all. I appreciate the patience that well, we get busy. I think I'm overzealous sometimes. I sign up for a lot of stuff. Saturdays. I appreciate that it was virtual, but in the beginning, the very first class, I was like, oh, it's a Saturday class. But then after we get rolling, that hour or two, I think we were on for like 12 to 3 or something like that. It just zoomed by, 12 to 4, whatever the time was. I would blink and then our Saturday time was up. So after a while, I just got in the rhythm and the groove, and I did. I appreciated the Saturdays and missed them, just like Jamie said. I like the culminating activity, which was the conference. And I just got so much from the different lessons that I just feel like I'm better. Even after all of these years of experience, I still feel like and I'm still growing. I got a chance to stop, pause, reflect, kind of like recalibrate a little bit. I want to stay relevant and connected to what's going on. And like I said, old lessons just kind of became like new ideas, new and refreshing perspectives just from our conversations. And it's just like I realized there's still so much more to continue to learn so that I can be the best educator that I want to put in front of my kids. And yeah, I think that I just really feel like I'm still growing and I could come back and I could do it again. Yes.
Yes, and I wouldn't put it past you either, Charlene. She'd be texting me saying, "Can I join today's class?" And I'm like,
Can I join again?
"Charlene,
Can I rewatch a session? Like I gotta take notes. I got this. Okay, can I come back? I literally will be okay. I would do it if I could just join in for free. Like, can I please log in and join? And I also like the fact that the cohort, we were the first cohort, so I feel like I like that's a little badge of honor. I think we maybe had 13 or 14 people in our first cohort, but I would love to see it continue and grow. And it's unique, not a micro-credential is really just like a title, but the fact that Dr. King is coordinating this, I would like to see it sustain and continue and this be just something that is has some sustainability.
All right. Thank you. And thank you too for coming so much and just hearing your reflections again just really warms my heart. So yeah, thank you for coming. What questions do you have? I just dropped a whole bunch of links in the chat. This QR code here will take you specifically to the site. Applications are going to actually be due August 1st. That date will be updated on our site soon. We just need more of a turnaround so we can give you notification. I can find out more about who's going to be in the micro-credential and get everybody set up and ready to go. Samuel, Cole?
Hi, Henry. This is
Hey, nice to see you. Cole and I taught together in
Steve.
Philly back in the day.
Yeah, this sounds really, really amazing. My question is, how are we defining Black history? Is this primarily African American history, or are we looking at diasporic history, or like what are we looking at for the context of this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One, I don't think I can answer in like 30 seconds. I could do a whole dissertation on that, right? Um, for me, like I taught African American history in West Philly because that was the title of the required course. And whenever I started teaching like lessons from the Caribbean or lessons from South America or Africa, I'm like, this is obviously not just African American history. So I have even changed my African American history affirmation to Black history. Um, I sometimes say that this is more of a Black studies lesson, right? We have the AP African American Studies course. It is not called AP African American History because it infuses other resources. But to answer your question in terms of like the coursework and the curriculum, I would lean on Professor King's Africa and the Africa Diaspora principle. It is not North American history, Black history focused. There are lessons really from all over the African diaspora. Um, this year, I actually added a lesson specifically on the history of Trinidad's carnival and the steel pan. That was really, really dope. Um, and I've included lessons before on anti-Blackness, specifically in Latin America through the Castor paintings. So I do try to, as much as possible, not just make it African American history, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question? Because that's a big
Got
one.
it. No, no, no. That's very helpful. Yeah, that's very helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to add too that I'm all for inclusive history. I think my main takeaway, I mean, although I'm a Black history nerd, I want to make sure that I say that this is a welcoming environment for all. Teachers, you don't have to be a Black teacher or just only teach African American kids, but it is definitely about improving your knowledge base, your rigor, teaching strategies. You're going to get that no matter what your background.
Yeah.
But I just make sure that this is about being a quality teacher with an intentional spectrum or lens on including accurate and intentional history about African Americans in the diaspora.
Yeah, and thank you, Charlene, too, for bringing that up. It does come up during the micro-credential when myself or somebody else might be modeling a lesson or talk about something during their classroom. They might say, I only teach Black kids in Detroit. And somebody else might say, well, how do I do this lesson then to my majority, predominantly white classroom in Atlanta, Georgia, maybe not Atlanta, but like somewhere else in South Carolina. Um, and then we have a conversation about how that lesson or unit could be adjusted to be more culturally responsive to the students that are in the room. Um, Karen, per your question in the chat, um, included in the micro-credential cost is only the registration, not the travel, lodging, or books. Jennifer?
Hi, Abigail.
Hi, Jennifer. It's nice to
Um,
see you
Good
again.
to see you. Quick question about the actual classes on Saturdays.
Mhm.
Are they held every Saturday, or what's the schedule like for the Saturdays?
So, um, I can speak to like this past year. It's usually like 4 Saturdays in a row and then a reading break, where the assistant comes on Zoom for an hour to discuss the readings, and then another 4 Saturdays. I try to take a survey. I give a survey at the beginning to find out like when their spring break is or when their breaks are, so I can do my best to meet everyone's like calendars and schedule the Saturdays where they wouldn't be as intrusive to perhaps people trying to travel. But for the most part, just because we want to build consistency from lesson to lesson, they are stacked kind of back to back. But there is a break, right? There's like a month and a half break between the end of Teaching Black History 1 and the start of Teaching Black History 2. Then we're about to finish like tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Saturday is the last of Teaching Black History 2 for this cohort. And then I'm meeting them once a month leading up to the conference.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
I'm curious as to who's on the call. I don't know if
Yeah,
introduction if I
so I at the beginning, Charlene, a bunch of them did share. They're from all over. So we have some people from South Carolina, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and a nice range. somebody from Nebraska as well, so and Philly, and a full range of like ESL, middle school, high school teachers, and one that teaches criminal justice as well. So yeah, it's a nice range.
Can I add something real quick about the schedule
Sure.
that I was really grateful
Yeah.
for is in signing up for this class, I was like, all right, okay, I really need my Saturdays to be open. And, I definitely joined class on a couple of trips in a couple of different locations. And, you want to be there. It's great. When you're, so excited to be a part of a group, you're like, I'm taking a weekend somewhere, but I still am going to go to class. But I got married when we went during my micro-credential year. So like, there's a lot of flexibility. I remember I emailed Abigail and be like, I'm gonna miss this week's class because I'm getting married. And Abigail's response was, that's the best excuse I've ever heard for missing a class, So like, I mean, everybody's like, there's understanding if you've got like a life event coming up and there's like one Saturday, you might miss.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, there's so much support. You go back and you can watch the class to get caught up and everything. So, I was grateful that there was that kind of support and because we've all got lives and we all have things
Yes.
that we have
Yes.
going on. So that support was great, and knowing that if you have to miss a class for a reason, there's a way to get caught up and things like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Are there any other questions at this time?
Can I say something, Abigail?
Sure. Thank you,
Right.
Professor. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, no, no. So after you complete the micro-credential and come to the conference, you get this cool T-shirt, Black History Nerds,
Oh
uh,
yeah, you get swag.
which everybody in the conference and everybody associated with the center would like one, but you only get one if you have if you are a micro-credential graduate, per se. Um, Number two, something that we should be doing real soon is that all our credential educators will be officially like teacher fellows for the center. So they'll be officially Black History leaders, Black History education leaders in different areas, right? And I think that's really important because many of us on the call and those who are going to be watching a little bit later, I found that many people feel that they're the only person that does what they do right in their area, right? And for some people it's really hard because you don't have a lot of support many times, resources, right? Sometimes our classes are small. Sometimes, people are still learning how to teach Black history. And for some people that may sound weird, but I do believe that there's a certain way and certain approach that you should teach Black history through, right? So the micro-credential provides you with that networking system all around the country and sometimes outside of the country where you can bounce ideas off of and come to the conference and really enjoy kind of learning from each other. So if you can, as Abigail mentioned, the cost of the micro-credential is really low, right? For what, we do and how many times they meet and the type of education that you receive. Hopefully some schools and principals and school districts will help defray some of the costs, even if it's, the tuition for the micro-credential or the conference travel and things of that nature, because it's really important for us to really explore Black history thoroughly, right? A lot of times schools have a Black history course, but it's not a Black history course, right? So hopefully this micro credential will help schools identify teachers who are ready, right? Who are certified and have the professional disposition to teach these particular courses, so we can really, explore our democracy in full blast. So, thank you all for joining. All right, go.
Yeah, and on that note, one last thing I'll say quickly too is I'm working on it. I'm going to get to it as soon as the semester is over for myself. But like a goal of mine is by like the end of this year is to start putting up onto the center's website the curriculum that is created by the wonderful educators that are part of the program, which would be great too for your resume or CV. You can be like, hey, look, my unit plan is posted on this website here. Please take a look at it. I just need a little bit more time and to get that up and running, but that is definitely on the agenda for the center too.
Can I add a couple things about the cost? So the $1,500, like if your district can help support you in any kind of way, that's great. The conference itself is just 2 days. I think it's going to be right this year, and so and again, that was pretty affordable. I know that I participated in another conference, and the conference registration fee was like $750. This is just very manageable. Buffalo, I'm a native of Indiana, went to school in Kentucky and Detroit, and I traveled, but Buffalo, as a city is pretty small and manageable. And there were 2 hotel options to stay in Buffalo, just really close to the location, the venue. I participated in one where it was in a high school, but the last one was, Dr. King, help me, the building was actually about the university building.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were at the UB Medical Center.
Okay, the UB Medical Center, which is very not intimidating at all. So when I say it's like really very intimate, this is not a huge thing, but it's so worth it because it's manageable. Like, so you don't have to be intimidated by size. And then the other last thing I wanted to point out is just resources. You kind of get introduced to new books and new authors and things that are relevant in today. Like I said, I kind of get kind of stuck talking about the same history. And can I just, I'm throw this out there. Yesterday, I had a conversation with my youngins. They did not know who LL Cool J was. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I asked 10 people, and out of 10 people, one student knew. Okay, I digress. But I say that there's so much that's going on. This is just a good way to stay connected. I am actually reading the book, I Make Me a World by Jarvis. But because of the networking that has gone on, you'll get access to resources, and you'll stay in the know of what's going on. And then again, I can see a variety of people on this call, but we just kind of help keep each other in tune and fine tune what is good and improve what is not. So I just want to kind of share that that's my experience. I value the intimacy. I don't sometimes like the larger, bigger things, but this was a good experience.
This year, the conference will be at our brand new Graduate School of Education on the South Campus. It's a brand new building. We just moved in January, I believe. So we just moved in. So it's a brand new building, beautiful building. This will be the first conference in that building. And then you get to check out our spaces.
All right. Well, my email is in the chat. Like I said, email me any questions, especially email me if you're like, I don't know if I could do the micro, but I definitely want to do the social studies retreat. Email me so I can put your name down. But please, please do consider and applying for this program. Print out the flyers, show them to your principal, bring them to schools or other educators that you might know. We would greatly appreciate it. And thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Nice to
Thank
see you,
you.
Becky.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Bye,
Thank
Jackie.
you.
Thank you both. Okay. Thank
Bye,
everybody.
Charlene. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Nice seeing
Thank you,
you.
Charlie. Thank you, Jamie, so much. Appreciate
Miss you
you.
all.
Miss you.
Miss you.
Yeah, miss
Bye-bye.
you.